Hello, this is Anna Williams with a short video tutorial explaining how to insert a sun, multiple suns, and link the parameters of suns in a 3D Studio Max document. So you start with your basic geometry. So this scene here I have created using a plane and editing the plane and adding the plugin Greeble to create this city-like scape. So to start off by adding a sun, we go to the Create panel and go along to Systems. There are two options for inserting a daylight and a sunlight system. A sunlight system adds a directional light, whereas a daylight system adds a sunlight and a skylight. So we want to hit Daylight System, then press Yes. So first of all, we'll be clicking and dragging, and this influences the size of the base compass. So size that, and then we want to drag the sun upwards and click. So now we have a sun in the document. We want to modify the date, location and time of it. So first of all, so this sunlight is in fact a standard one. We want to change it to a Mr. Sun, and we want to change the skylight to a Mr. Sky and hit Yes. So now we will change the location. So under Position, press Setup, and then under Location, press Get Location. We then want to change the country, so we're setting up our sun in Melbourne, Australia. So Australia, as you can see to the left, there is numerous cities to choose from. I'm going to use the map function to change it to Melbourne, Australia, and press OK. So you see the sun changed position quite dramatically in the sky then. The sun is currently set to 12 o'clock in June, 21st of June 2015. I'm going to change that to 21st of March as it's an equinox. At the moment, the document is set to a shaded view. So if we click on this and change it to realistic, and then re-click and check that the lighting and shadows are on scene lights and not default lights. So if we then zoom into the geometry, we can see the shadows being cast by our sun. So we zoom out. We now want to create multiple suns. So this can be a good tool when doing a sunlight analysis and seeing the extremes of the shadows in a geometry. So to create multiple suns, we're going to right click on the sun and press clone. So we want to copy the sun. So do not create an instance or a reference. You need to copy and hit OK. Then click on one of the suns and go into the Motion tab. We're going to change one of the suns so it's at 11 AM in the morning. So now we can see that there are two different suns in different locations in the sky, and if we zoom in, there should be two different shadow sets, so we can see them slightly there. I know that I want to create 10 suns within my scene, so I'm going to go in and change some basic parameters before I copy all the suns. So at the moment, if I was to copy 10 suns, then the resultant scene would be extremely bright because you have, in effect, the power of 10 suns. I want to change here in the basic parameters. The default is 1, so I'm going to divide that by how many suns I want. So 1 divided by 10, so I'm going to change each sun to have a basic multiplier of 0.1. Then going to change the Mr. Sky parameters also to 0.1. And I'm going to do this for the other sun that we've already created in the sky. You might be able to see now, if I zoom in, that the scene isn't as bright as it was before, and the shadows are actually easier to see. I'm going to fast forward now as I create 10 suns in the sky. So we are back, and as you can see, I have inserted now 10 suns into the sky. Because my computer is fairly slow, I've changed it back to shaded view. If we go to realistic, take a minute and zoom in, we can see that there will now be 10 different shadows on our geometry. Just for ease, I'm going to change it back to shaded because my computer deals with it a lot better. If we go into one of these suns, we want to change the month, so change it to June. You can see that only one sun moves at the moment. So we want to wire the parameters of all these suns so that if I change the date of one, they all change. So click on the sun, first sun here, and go up to animation, go down to wire parameters and into parameter wire dialog. So in this left hand menu here, scroll down, see the one we've selected, which is daylight 004, is already open. So if we click on here, solar date, we want to connect it to the sun next door. So the sun next door is daylight 006. We want to connect it to this solar date. So if we press here, create a two-way connection. So two-way connection means you can change either of them and they both change. So you hit that, and then don't forget to press connect down the bottom. So if we click out of this one now, that should have updated it. So if I change this to June, you can see that they both changed, so they are now linked. I'm just going to fast forward while I do that to all of the suns. So I have now linked the parameters of all the suns. So if I change this sun here to June, they all change to June. So this makes it a lot easier when doing things such as a sun shadow study. So now if we were to zoom in, change this to realistic, we would be able to, with ease, render different viewpoints and change the date and time, well, predominantly the date, and get some quite good results out of it. Thank you.